Back live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa, and we are so excited to have Girl Talk founder and creator Sarah Pendrick. How are you, gorgeous?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Thank you for having me. I'm the biggest fan of Focus. I love Andy.
Oh, yeah.
This show is just amazing.
Well, that feeling is mutual.
Right?
You.
Your work is amazing. Love
you.
watching it all.
Thank you.
So, as the founder and creator of Girl Talk Network, what was your inspiration to create this community?
So my inspiration, it's grown a lot since I first started, but I've always been really, really passionate about helping other people. Like I said, I didn't have a sister, and I always wanted one, so I wanted to create my own sisterhood, my own tribe. Women can be so bad to each other. I just wanted to create this space where if I make it, that means you make it. And just like really helping each other and talking about the struggles and the success. I've dealt with trauma in my life, and it wasn't until I created Girl Talk that I started talking openly about it, because I think that the women that were behind me gave me permission to do that. So I wanted to create this tribe of women and these events where we all talk about everything that's going on in life, so that women and people don't feel alone.
Right. You say, I wanted a place that any woman could go and feel safe, empowered, supported, and know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big epidemic in our culture right now. We are so connected via social media, and yet we feel so alone.
Even more alone.
Yeah.
I just think, and that's another thing on my Instagram, I'm really honest. I talk about the bad things, not just the good things. For a while I started off just talking about the bad things, then it was my own limiting belief where I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm on Good Morning LaLa Land, or I just did this interview. Like, I look back on interviews that I didn't even share because I had my own limiting belief, and then I'm like, I want to share it all. I used to just feature other women and their like amazingness and their struggles, and I didn't really talk about my own. Now I'm like here being honest and sharing, and I just think that if you are 100% genuine and sharing the good and the bad, you can really make a difference on social media.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. It requires quite a bit
So
of-
tell us a little bit about your platform. What is it like if someone comes to your platform? What do they do?
So we have a bunch of different things. We have our events, which Focus has covered, and I'm really grateful for that. But if you come just to the community online, it's really sharing my story, other women's stories, everyday struggles, opening the conversation. Like, I'll get on my phone and post whatever I want to post, what I'm feeling in the moment. And that's
see
really
some,
what I...
some of it right now while you're talking. Keep going.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can keep going, but I just want to say.
So it's just a place to really be ourselves, but also learn little life hacks and tips and tricks, because I think if you figured it out, then go out and share it so you can let the other person figure it out. If you have a secret, don't keep it a secret. Tell them, this is what I did to get here, and I really like covering the journey.
You know what I've noticed, though, in a lot of my communities of women is that once they figured something out, right, they don't want to share their secret.
Yeah.
Why is that, and how do women overcome that?
Yeah, so I think it comes from a lack of thinking there's enough for all of us. I think it's just this competition, and especially on social media, it brings it out more. But when you get into the mindset that there's not enough to go around, you want to like hold on. Like, I figured it out, and I'm going to hold on to it because I don't want to lose it.
It's a scarcity perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really like, I want to give more, and if more people are doing this makes it even bigger for me to be able to.
And we just create more opportunities in doing that.
Exactly.
Wow, it's so powerful. I remember I had a friend once, and he was talking about he wanted to create a show, a TV show, and somebody else was asking for ideas, to create their own. So he started giving them ideas, and then he held back for a second and thought, man, I don't want to share all my best ideas. And then he said, and then we talked about it a little while, and then he said, if I write it from my heart, and I write about what I most love, it'd be really impossible for them to do the show without me. Yeah. And even if they did, it wouldn't be the same show.
Right.
And so I love that, but it does require sort of that abundance mentality about things.
Exactly.
And how did you develop that?
I mean, it was a work in progress. I definitely will be honest, before I started Girl Talk, I kind of had that mindset. And then I just realized, like, why do I think like that? Why am I not like coming from abundance? So I always think about, why am I feeling this way? And I just started like realizing it was a lack of not thinking that I was enough, being scared, not knowing my value. So every program that I create, I'm the first student of it. So I just became a student of all my programs before I released them. And I just really created like, no, abundance makes the world go round and makes it so much better. And like, if I'm providing value and being genuine to myself, then they can take whatever I'm doing, but it's still not me. So that's where you create your value.
I just love that. Byron Katie has a pretty famous expression. She says, every piece of advice I've ever given was really meant for myself.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And so powerful. What are some of the pieces of advice you would give to people that want to do something similar to what you're doing?
Yeah, so my biggest thing is, if it's an event, just book the date. Literally, I was in PR and marketing, and I wasn't even done with my contracts yet, and I booked the first date, April 23rd, of my first event. And then all my contracts, I feel like it was the universe, just happened to get up at the same time, so I didn't renew them, and then I spent that 3 months planning my first event. And so my advice is to be true to yourself and book far out, and believe in yourself. Look to the people that are doing what you want to do. Don't listen to what everyone else is doing. Like, if I want to start a show, I'm going to come to you guys and ask Andy and ask you guys, like, how did you guys do that? So go to the people. If you want to be in a relationship, who has a successful relationship? So I just say go to the teacher and listen to what they have to say, and then take what you like from it and make your own part of it.
I love that. We were talking about how you're in a mastermind and how I think that's one of the common things in a mastermind is to do something that's really uncomfortable, like booking an event, like where you actually put that down, you announce it, you whatever, and then there's like all this stuff that comes up, and we call it, we're talking about going through the wall of fire. Like, you know when you're going past your belief system, when you get to that place where you're freaking out or things are falling apart in your life, maybe even you have a loved one that gets sick, like you'd be amazed at the amount of bizarre things that happen when someone's going through that wall of fire. So what has that wall of fire been like for you?
Gosh, I mean, it's up and down. The mastermind has already really changed my life. We were talking about that because you're surrounded by 25 people that are on like the same journey as you. As soon as I left the mastermind, I was on this high. I was so confident about the next level, and then the next week you hit that wall. And I just have to remember that when I'm about to break through that wall, I'm gonna get those fear and that doubts, but that means I'm so close. Just one more step.
It's always darkest before the dawn.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
They talk about going up, like if you're climbing the Himalayas, right? The hardest part is the very top, and you know, but you're so close, but it's like the hardest part, right?
I wonder, what have you learned about yourself in going through this wall of fire?
I've learned how strong I am, and another thing that I've learned is it's okay not to have all the answers. I think, like, especially when I first started my first event, I was like, what if I stutter? What if I mess up? And now I'm just like, whatever, I messed up, I said it. I just learned how just being genuine, and it's okay not to be perfect.
Sometimes I think lots of us, I think people connect even more deeply when they feel that relatability and they see that you're not perfect.
Right.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Has that been a challenge for most of your life, would you say?
I would say it's so funny to think back. It just shows how much you grow when you break through those walls of fire. In the beginning and the first half of my life, it definitely was, but now not at all.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I mean, I'm not perfect, and every day something happens, but no, I don't even think about it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to share.
So where can people find you?
So they can find me on Instagram at Girl Talk Network, and then our website, girltalknetwork.org. That's where all our events are listed. I have a community online on Instagram. We're going to be releasing a new program soon, just all these amazing
Right.
things.
Well, we have to take a little break, but what you have a few events coming up, is that correct?
I do. So I have an event. It's far away. I haven't announced the date, but it is in September. So just keep up with updates on Instagram. But then I have a new program and a little guide coming out in the next 2 months that I'm really excited about. Just life hacks for women, and all of us sharing our stories to really help each other.
Well, we're going to have to invite you back to the show to
Yes.
talk about
Yes.
these life
Yes.
hacks
Oh my
and this
gosh.
new program
Yeah.
next month. We'll be back with more Good Morning La La Land. Stay tuned.